All right, race day morning. Think I'm ready. I'm parked. Excited, ready to go. I think I'm healthy. Foot's a little sore, but that usually goes away once I start moving. So we'll see. A goal is sub 2. B goal is, right around 2:05, and then C goal, I guess, is finishing since it's my first half marathon. But we'll see. I'm not taking the camera out. I'm just gonna run the race. Well, the good news is I finished my first half marathon race. Bad news is I failed spectacularly on most of my goals. I don't know what the official time was, but my watch time was about 2:11. So obviously I was shooting for sub 2. First 10K I was on pace, and then back seized up a little bit, hamstring, and then just mentally I'm just not tough. Even when I was doing training, I knew I wasn't challenging myself mentally. It was all just kind of base aerobic runs, and then the thought was I would just build that base and then just keep going. But once the calves started and hamstring started cramping a little bit, I just kind of gave up, walked. And then once 2 minutes was out, or 2 hours was out of the picture, I really didn't worry about any other time. So I just kind of jogged until cramped again. But more to improve on. Overall, I feel good about finishing the race, just disappointed in the performance. Yesterday I ran the Mesa Half Marathon. My time was 2 hours, 11 minutes, and 42 seconds, I think, maybe 43. And was slower than kind of where I thought I would be. My A goal was sub 2 hours, which I thought I maybe on a perfect day had like a 5% chance of doing that, 10% chance. But I really thought I was going to get right around 2:05. And looking back, data from the race, I really should have ran between 2:05 and 2:08 probably. So what happened? So the first mile, I purposely, consciously went out slow. Or not slow, but just make sure I didn't bolt out. And I did that exactly. So I executed first mile. And so my first 5K, I came in right around 28:30, which is right where I wanted to be. I wanted to be right around 28, between 28 and 29. Heart rate was still decent. One of my guardrails for the race was at 5 miles. I wanted to be around 46 minutes. And then at 10 miles, I wanted to be, I think, like 132, maybe 134, maybe just double or a little bit more than double. And I came through 5 miles, I think just right above 46, so right in range. Plan was that I would probably PR my 10K, which is kind of crazy to think that in October I ran my first 10K and PR'd it, and then 3 months later that part of the plan would be to PR a 10K during a half marathon. So I don't think the durability was there for sure, and maybe the sub 2 hours was just an aggressive, hyper aggressive goal. I had that 10K line, so in my mind it was kind of like, just get to 10K, thinking that then after that it would be, get to the next thing. Came through at 10K at just over 57 minutes. Really, I think I wanted to be at 58 minutes is what kind of the plan was, because the goal was to run a negative split. But then once I hit that 10K and saw the time, it was like, oh, I'm good. The thoughts just kept coming in about, now I've just got to do this for another hour. And the legs were just super heavy, felt like there was lead in them. And my mind was just like, yeah, you're not going to make it. Like, you're not going to make it. You're not going to make it. I was hoping, well, first of all, I was hoping that I knew the thoughts would come, but I thought maybe they would come around 15K. And the heaviness in the legs, I thought wasn't going to come until around, probably 13, 14K. So to see that show up at 9K kind of freaked me out. My heart rate, I think, was up to 134, where I kind of projected it would be, at least with ChatGPT. My training there wasn't prolonged runs at half marathon pace to feel that discomfort, to feel that pain, to experience it, and to get through it. So I knew it was coming, but I really didn't know what it was going to feel like. And B, during training, when I did kind of have that experience, it was like, oh, I've only got 4 more minutes left, so that was easy. But feeling that pain and knowing I had an hour left just wasn't mentally tough enough to fight through that. So I walked for about 20 seconds, pretty much right after the 10K, hoping my heart rate would drop, kind of flush the legs out a little bit. I would reset and then get right back into it. But then after that, within seconds, it was back to running at pace and feeling the same way. And from there, I just kind of not blew up, but just mentally just wasn't there for me. The second half of the race was just a lot of just beating myself up. My back did start hurting a lot, which it does normally when I run over 50 minutes, 60 minutes. But I've fought through it on long runs without walking. I think I ended up walking. Well, I walked a total of 14 minutes total. So I ran 2:11, and 14 minutes of that was walking, and not brisk walking either, just slow walking. I did feel a little kind of embarrassment walking. Everyone else, was jogging, and here I am walking. For me, I just kind of felt embarrassed. Once that sub 2 hour goal, went away, I should have focused as, all right, well, let's get 205, but I think I just shut down mentally completely. Looking back, I think I could have got 205, because when I did walk and then when I started running again, I was back at 520 or 540 pace. So I think I probably could have ran right around 6:17 per kilometer, and ran that 10-minute per mile pace, but for the whole second half, instead of walking. This is where kind of my training lacked, where I really didn't get up into the 130s for extended amount of time. So whenever I started seeing the heart rate creep up, that's where mentally I started getting uncomfortable. My blood pressure drops really low after, especially after I exert myself. So, it can be 80 over 60, 75 over 55, things like that. During the race, a couple times I got lightheaded, a little dizzy, and it was during some of the walking. And then post-race, once I finished, I was just kind of not stumbling around, but just dizzy, lightheaded. I ended up just sitting down for about 20 minutes, and normally, like, I'd never have to do that. And then when I was walking around for the next 20 minutes, still kind of foggy, and my eyes were just, everything was really bright. And then after that, everything kind of leveled out. I'm happy I ran the race. I'm going to run another half marathon. I think I mentioned right after the race, there's no desire to run a marathon. I thought maybe this would be a springboard into doing a marathon, but that I definitely don't want to do. Looking at the race, the big thing was just being able to sustain threshold run, so high 130s for me for 50 minutes, and then that last 10 minutes be able to just gut it out, get it up into zone 5, and just gut it out for that last mile.